This next game is interesting to me. It's the Titans and the Colts. The Titans are 3.5 point favorites at home. I loved the Colts last week against the Packers. I thought from the second the line was posted until it closed, it was always the wrong number. The Colts ended up covering. Why? I feel like the Colts aren't getting enough respect. All the money, all the bets coming in on the Titans right now. Why don't wise guys like the Colts, Simon?
They like them, man. They're the ones I've been betting with. That I bet with you last week on the Colts. I
That's
I
good.
I, I misread that one. Like I fell into a stupid trend trap where like I saw the trend that Rodgers was 12-0 after lose on the spread, and I had them prorated better Green Bay. And like you just said, this Colts defense, they're incredible, and they make plays when they need to. And they've had weird games. Like they had the game with Joe Burrow, just tore them up, and they came back and won. And I'm looking at this the same way you are. Titans just had a huge win on the road, playing against a Colts team who just had a huge win at home. And only thing scaring me off, I can see why the public's coming in on it. It's so hard to sweep divisional games, and that's what we're looking at here with the Colts. We're looking at a team that we believe is going to sweep the Titans this year. But I believe that Rivers didn't play that great last week. I think that was more about the weapons around him, and I'll ride with you here. I don't love that it's -3.5 because we've been burned by the hook so many times, but I can't take the Titans here after that game last week. That was such an emotional win. They truly hate Baltimore. Like you saw Vrabel not shaking Harbaugh's hand after the
Yeah.
game. They don't like each other. So that's a lot different than what we saw with the Colts and the Packers. They were hugging each other. Him and Aaron Rodgers talked for like 20 minutes at the midfield after the game. So to me, it just feels like a letdown game for the Titans. So I'm with you. I'll back the Colts in this position.
Philip Rivers shouldn't be having long conversations with anybody. He's that's a COVID party right there. And he's like in the elderly crowd, so he should just be off the field as soon as the game is over. And I will say, my heart is in my throat every single time he throws the ball if I am betting on the Colts. But I do like him. To me, this would be like, let's hope to God that because all this money is coming in on the Titans, let's just see if the number drops, right? Like on Sunday morning when we're texting, let's just make sure we're thinking about where the Colts are and like, does DK have them at 3?
Honestly, if the number did move, I'd feel even better because that means that Vegas has a read here, and they don't care. They don't care how much money's coming on their side. They're going to leave, like just like the Miami Denver last week. I know it
Interesting.
did move a little bit. It moved up from 2.5 to 3.5, but they just left it there all week. And like Darren, I think it was Darren tweeted out, 96% of the money had came in
Yeah.
on Miami, and they weren't moving it. So when you're in those situations, all the money's coming the other side, and the line just doesn't move. Those are my favorite ones because you're just like, all right, sweet. Obviously, they have a good read here, and my read's matching it. So I'm with you. If it goes down to 3, that's an automatic play.
That's a little insider tip you just gave. Like if the money is coming in and Vegas doesn't move it at all, then you're on the right side. Here's another pros Joe's. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that if you honestly watch numbers, like you love watching lines, you play that trend, I guarantee you'll hit above a 60% clip for your career. That's like a known thing. Like when all the money's coming on the side and Vegas doesn't move that line, you're not gonna win it every time, but 60% you can quit your day job and just do that the rest of your life. So it is a really, really good thing to watch.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm looking for an exit. So if that ends up being the way out, so be it. Panthers +4.5, maybe +4 at the Vikings. Matt Mitchell, ring the bell. We got a pros Joe's alert. Bing, 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 bing. 60% of the bets on the Panthers, 61% of the money on the Vikings. Of course, we're taking the Vikings here.
Have to. Have to. It's
Have to.
such an easy play. Like Panthers, they had a huge win, a blowout at home. Their first win in, I don't even know, feels like 2 months. Now coming across country to play a team that just lost embarrassingly at home. Of course, we love the Vikings here. Got to play it.
I'll tell you what, though. You give me a team that over the next 5 years that I think will win a Super Bowl, I'm going on the Carolina Panthers. Because when I saw their record, they're what, 3-7? That is a good 3-7 team. It feels like every week they're competitive. I like their players. I think Matt Rule, he's clearly a very good coach. Like, has the team ready, is not afraid to take chances, plays the percentages right. I am all in on the Carolina Panthers.
Love it all too, but it's going to be one of those we're going to have to really see what the deal is with Teddy, because we've never seen Teddy be able to stay healthy for a whole season and put together a winning season. Like when he played in Minnesota, he didn't do much. He had Adrian Peterson and a good defense. And this year we saw him really coming out and really leading that offense, but he got hurt again. So I'm with you. I love them for the future, especially. They got a really good young defense and a good core on offense. But it's all about Teddy. Teddy's got to get right, got to stay healthy, and we'll see what kind of team they can be in the next couple of years.
Teddy covers. All right. Your favorite team, the Los Angeles Chargers, the one that's still alive in your other survivor pool, they are traveling to Buffalo to play Josh Allen. Justin Herbert, going to be Rookie of the Year. That's a given now with Joe Burrow on the shelf. 6-point dogs in Buffalo. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, I'll be on Buffalo. They're coming off a bye week. Maybe they'll come out a little sluggish in the first half, but we know what the Chargers do. They're not a consistent team with a rookie quarterback now going on the road. And we saw how he played when he went down to Miami. He just looked flustered. And after that win, they're going to be feeling good, the Chargers. And the Bills, I just can't see them sleepwalking through this game just because – they need it. They need to really start racking these wins up because they're starting to chase that not fear of Miami, because Miami kind of had that letdown game in Denver, but that they're pushing them. Miami can still somehow steal this division. So I can't see the Bills really letting down here. I'm happy to take the number. I see it's up to 5.5, so that means some sharp money's coming on it. I'll ride that side. As long as it doesn't get above 6.5, I'm happy to take the Bills.
Well, now you got me convinced to take the Bills. Now you got me thinking, oh, my God, that's the exact right spot. Let's walk away from the Bills.
Let's do it.
The New York Football Giants, Daniel Jones, my least favorite player in the NFL, at the Cincinnati Bengals. 5-point favorite.
It's going to burn me, but I'm going to take the Giants. I've always liked the Giants better on the road. This line's crazy inflated right now, obviously, because the injury to Joe Burrow. But just this morning, tons of articles coming out about all this drama going on in the Bengals locker room. They got players complaining about coaches, like saying the way they talk to them and treat them isn't good. It feels like the only thing carrying any water there was Joe Burrow. Every week, the only impressive thing we would talk about that team was Joe Burrow. So, hate that I have to take the Giants here. They're off a bye week. This is crazy. They're up to -5. But I just can't see how the Bengals are going to move the ball against this Giants defense. So I'm hoping very, very little from Daniel Jones, and he doesn't turn the ball over. But I'm going to take the Giants here with the public.
The other day we were watching the games, my son and I, and he's like, Daniel Jones might be the best number 8 in the history of the NFL. He was kidding, of course.
Thank God.
Then we decided that in order – the best number 8s in the history of the NFL: Troy Aikman, Daniel Jones, Vince Evans, who was the quarterback for the Chicago Bears in the 1980s. So the Browns are on the road at the Jaguars. Giants are a pass. We're not putting them in the contest. -6.5 against the Jaguars. Look, I was all over the Jaguars against the Steelers, and you were as were you, and as were most wise guys. But I don't know, man.
Can't back the quarterback right now. He was the whole reason they didn't cover that. Like the Jags had the opportunities. They were up 3-0. Ben Roethlisberger dropped back and threw an absolute gift as a pick 6 to the defender, and it hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. He had no one ahead of him. We would have been up 10-0 at that point. Yep. So can't back the Jags. And Minshew can come back, maybe spark some magic in the team, but right now the quarterback situation, I can't put my money on them again this week.
100%. 100% agree. But can you back the Browns? No, not at 6.5 on the road. Like, I'm not ready to give Baker that kind of credit.
If you watch that game, once again, we talk about these referees, man. So last night, Mike Evans was getting tackled, and he kept fighting for extra yards, and he broke the tackle and scored the touchdown. Fought through two guys, scored a touchdown. Baker Mayfield carries the ball to the left. It gets tackled by a guy. He's pumping his legs forward, and the guy strips the ball. They blew the whistle and said he was down by forward progress.
Yeah.
So it feels like the Browns got gifted a win last week, and the line's not crazy. I'm honestly shocked that it's not 7 just because the Browns have played so well. And the best thing they do is run the ball against a team, the Jaguars, that cannot stop the run. So I don't hate taking the Browns here, but I don't want to put in the competition either, so we can pass on it.
Dolphins visiting your favorite team, the New York Jets. 7-point favorites, the Miami Dolphins.
So ugly. And right now, we don't know what the deal is with Tua. Guy hasn't passed. I don't think he's passed for more than 200 yards in a game yet. And the Jets have been covering. They keep covering these games. Who knows how they do it, but they keep backdooring and covering these games. And once again, if you're telling me it's 7.5, a divisional game, we don't know what the deal is with Tua. I guess I got to take the Jets again, but I'm hoping that Sam Darnold will be back this week because it's the worst putting your money on Joe Flacco. But it's the right side, the Jets here.
Dude, what do you got this game rated at?
I had it rated at 6. Like, in my mind, on the road, 6 is a lot of points to give a divisional foe. That's just how bad the Jets are. So the fact that they hung 7.5 is insane. That they're just begging us to bet the Jets here. So might be falling into a trap here, but I have to take the 7.5.
Is that how I want to spend? Is that how I want to spend my Sunday? No, I don't want to need the Jets in a contest. But we're going to think about it. Raiders.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. The Raiders, this game opened at pick. They're visiting the Falcons. There's like 25 1 p.m. games. The Raiders are visiting the Falcons. It opened at pick. Now it's at -3. We fell in love with the Falcons once at just the wrong time this past week.
And this is the right time. That's what sucks. That's what sucks so much about gambling. It's like, as a pro, I can't, like we just talked about, emotions can't get involved. The Raiders, I'll be up front. I did not see Derek Carr having the year he's having. He's playing so well. Like, of all the teams that lose a game this year, and you come out of it saying, wow, that team's really impressed me, Oakland in that Chiefs game, I gave them no chance. I thought they were going to get blown out. And every time the Chiefs would score, Derek Carr would drive the field and score again. But this has to be a letdown spot. There's no way the Raiders can keep playing at this high of a level. Like, they're not the kind of team like Pittsburgh and the Chiefs that are just going to keep winning these big games. And Atlanta, everyone's left them for dead. They got embarrassed last week. The fact that they didn't even cover in teasers was like the most sickening part of that. I can't believe they couldn't cover that game against Tyson Hill. So had to take the Falcons, but I completely understand if you're just like, I don't want to put this competition. But this is by far the Hornets' Nest game.
Hornets Nest! By the way, we're walking into the goddamn Hornets Nest because I'm with you on the Falcons. Like, everything you just said is exactly true. And you know what got me? What really got me? The emotional component. Like, and by we, I mean me, I have to get out of the emotional elements of this. And listen, don't laugh. You're not immune to it. I know, like, you've even admitted on this call when we were vulnerable with each other that, like,
Jesus.
that like, sometimes the Twitterati gets to you, and so it's impacting some things. And so I think we got to go with the Falcons here.
Dude, that happens all the time. I liked the over last night, and I'm following too many people at the Action Network. You guys are messing with my head, and everyone was on the under. I'm like, that has to be the right side. Maybe I'm overthinking this, so I put out the under, and it blew up in my face. But yeah.
You also put out the Bucks -5, and I told you on the show that was the wrong side.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. Someone hit me with a theory that it's actually holding up. That Tom Brady's bedtime is 9:00, and they said it on the broadcast.
Yeah, they talked about it.
I should have known better. That is honestly a good read. It's this. He goes to bed at 9:00. These games don't finish till 11 p.m. He doesn't play well in the second half. It's happened both times he's had late games. So I gotta start listening to people about that trend.
He's sleepy, Tommy. Tommy gets tired. Tired, Tommy. All right, so we're taking the Falcons. It's in there. Falcons are on the list. Cardinals at the Patriots. Game open to pick. It's now at Patriots +3. I don't know. I don't have strong opinions on this one way or the other. I could be persuaded if you're so inclined.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably with you. And I'll pass on it. The smart side is going to be the Patriots, the home dog, coming off a bad loss, playing a Cardinals team that they've not that they look bad against the Seahawks, but that was such a letdown game that we talked about last week. So with the Cardinals' extended rest, the fact that it's down to 2.5 now, I got to take the Cardinals. They're just a more complete team. And I know they have a lot of injuries, and that is scary. But New England, they're just not good against these teams that can pass. New England's strong against teams that just run the ball. So I can't pass on the Cardinals here. I can't see them dropping 2 in a row. I think they're going to win this one. So 2.5. Hopefully we don't get a kneel down again for the extra point. But I'll take the 2.5 of the Cards.
All right, I'll put it on the list.